Waiting for Gary to get in Tailspire.
I just need 2 minutes.
That, and we're waiting for Valera to. Is that how you say it? I can't remember.
Elvira. Hold on.
Evora. To finish soccer.
Ah, that was a bad ball.
How's it? How are you doing? How's the match going?
4-1
Oh no.
to us.
Oh, that's good.
So apparently
Oh
today,
my god, I'm playing that shit now.
at my local game shop, they had a duo of people that were like the 2 top players from last year's local league, from like just like the community made tournament, not an official one. Go against each other for Warhammer, and there was somebody said that there can only be one thing from the Highlander in the general chat in that server during the match. And then after the match was over, they sent the scorecard, and for the 2 players, points gained by the end of the match, it was 94-12.
Wow.
And then, so Mike was the one, it is his Discord name, that got 94, and like the original person that posted the Highlander thing was like, God damn, maybe you are the Highlander. Just completely obliterated whoever he was playing against. I've met Mike. He's cool. I haven't met the other person. Mike let me borrow one of his armies my first time playing.
There we go, game over.
Cool.
That was kind of embarrassing. They lost 4-1.
Oof.
I scored 2 of those goals. Yeah, hold on.
You're not playing
Give me a
FIFA?
second. Nah, I'm not. I don't. If I wanted to gamble, I would go on a different site to gamble.
It's not even called FIFA anymore, is it? It's called something. They changed the name last year, didn't they?
26.
You can ignore that that message. Like it's just the letter G, so that I could bump your chat up in my DMs.
All right.
I've been messaging a lot of people over the past couple days.
Mr. Popular over here.
There's a lot of communication back and forth because I've been asking around for between friends with some help with some struggle situation financially and other things like that. So I had to, talk to those friends, add them to group chats with my mom so that she can get them the info for Cash App and all that stuff, and yeah. But yes, my parents have Discord.
Well, I know about Pharaoh.
Yeah, both my parents have Discord. My dad's been doing streaming stuff recently. He's trying to get back into that because he had a friend that said that he should get back into that again.
Funny, I'm following me. I haven't seen the.
Yeah, I haven't seen him go live unless he's on one of his other accounts.
He's been I think it's been mostly like just like an hour or 2 here and there, and it hasn't been like on a specific schedule, so.
All right, so we'll just jump on in. So we left off after chaos. I don't know what else to call it in the city. Y'all got picked up under contract from the Adventurers Guild, and then made your way up the mountain to this old ruined tower. Upon looking around, you saw this ruin above a gateway. Alatia touched it. There was a loud crackle of energy where Alatia took a heavy hit. But as that fell, y'all now just sees this almost like a large cloud of shadow above the tower. is the air now feels very heavy, and you feel like you've definitely made your presence known. So with that, what do you want to do?
Yeah. I'd say probably as soon as that happens, Phalar kind of backs up and he takes out his, pick and pocket dagger and he's kind of flipping it back and forth in his hand a little bit. Looks at Alatya, looks at the rest of the party, and goes, "I did say that it wasn't my brightest idea." As you just keep looking up at the top of the tower occasionally.
How would you like to go about this?
I don't know if this is exactly something that I have the best insight towards. Anybody else have an idea? I mean, I'm no stranger to darker magics myself. It's just I wasn't quite expecting that.
I would like to speak language I don't think anyone can speak. I'm pretty sure no one can speak the language I speak.
So that,
The Darkai.
yeah, no. We've got a couple deep speech speakers in here. I've got Abyssal, Infernal, Celestial, and Draconic.
I'd like to say
Thank-
to it. I'm gonna emulate what I want to say out loud.
Are you saying it's anybody in particular, or is this something you're muttering under your breath?
Oh no, I'm saying it out loud because you said there was something that was watching us from the top of the tower. So I'm looking up at the top of the tower while saying this.
All right.
Say that.
Is it at night or is it just because this area is like
It's
dark?
it's at night. It's definitely darker. You're not sure if it's quite night yet. It just feels like almost like light is just gone, except for the few torches you see around the tower.
Okay.
Do I get a response or does it just stay quiet?
I will. The rest of you don't hear anything, but you hear a message in your head, also in Shinderkai.
Oh yeah, there was that snake temple that we went to. I wonder if this is connected to that. Just no, an above table thought. That's not an in-character thing.
You just hear those 4 words repeated over and over and over.
I'm going to say, oh, it keeps repeating pain, anger, despair, revenge over and over again.
Oh, that's reassuring.
As all of you are figuring, are you feel this heaviness in the air seems to get thicker and more almost. It's almost to the point where it's almost suppressing down on you. I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw.
As I make a wisdom save, can I go and do the switchy twitch?
Yep.
What the fuck? I don't know what I got because Tailspire just not Tailspire. The thing just bugged out.
Another
Is it
thing,
wisdom save?
yep. Another thing you can do is you can do what Phalar's doing and just roll a d20 and then just do the math.
And I've got the Jesus Christ.
That's a
Oh,
15.
uno moment. Where is my?
15
Oh,
as
that's not gonna no.
more. Bam.
So as being a very, you manage to, as you feel kind of like this presence almost pushing into your mind, you manage to close your eyes and focus and manage to shrug it off. But for the rest of you, you see your vision crack. Like, almost like you're looking through like a broken piece of glass. And as the vision of this area fades, almost like as each fragment almost seems to show you a memory for it's like if like a still picture that just hangs there for a moment, like can be either a happy memory, a regret, loss. It just hangs there in your mind for a moment where you all blink and you're back in front of his tower. As the rest of you kind of shake it off, I would say, being a Villa, you both watch as this cloud of shadow almost pulling down, almost like a tornado, as you see. I'm on Tailspire. Top of the towers, you see this large figure appearing of like flickering shadow.
Oh. So it's like okay.
And then all of you hear in your minds, as it almost says it with authority, "Why are you here? Why have you come to my home?"
So we just all, it's like in our heads, or is it coming from the?
Yeah, it's communicating telepathically.
So would it still? I'm assuming it could still understand if we spoke aloud.
You don't know?
It would just probably get like the thought channel of it, I'd imagine. Phalar kind of looks around to the rest of the party, and he's going to, within his head, try to respond with just saying, "Are you able to?" He, says, "Are you able to understand vocals?" Like he's asking, can he understand if we speak out loud?
You don't get a response band, but this feeling of acknowledgement seems to channel into you.
So Phalar looks up, and then he kind of clears his throat, and he says, "I'm sure my party could probably fill in a little more of the info, but from what I understand, there is someone that saw these ruins and they wished to know more about them, to study their history, and, well, they
Huh?
were quite off-put by the forces coming from within, and we were sent to see what was the cause.
You get another feeling of acknowledgement.
And kind of looks to the rest of the party, and he's like, again, I'm sure some of you probably understood better than I did. I was a bit shaken when we were talking to that archivist, but that is what I understood, at least. They sent us here to find what the source of the problem was because they were scared to study this place while the force was around. It can understand speech aloud.
We don't intend to be your enemy. We just wish to recover some of the history of this place to learn more about it.
It is a rather admirable fortress, I have to say.
You hear you don't get a response, but you get the word trapped artifact activated.
I would relay to the group that they're it appears they're trying to let us know that there's sort of a active trap potentially involving an artifact. And it is active, so
Maybe... And then he kind of looks over at Klaus and Otto, and he goes, you two, if you recall the individual that we met in that old forge ruin where I got Alatia, he said that he was bound to that forge, involuntarily bound to that forge. I wonder if the force that's at work here is stuck here in a similar manner.
Mm,
He turns
Could
to
be.
Entropy and Elvira and is like, I don't know if you two would have any thoughts on that. So he's suggesting that maybe the forces at work in this tower were bound here against their will. Because the other three of us have actually seen that
That's true.
happen
Yeah.
previously.
Does it seem like this thing is trying to warn us and not trying to like be hostile? Or is this guy like being aggressively hostile?
Well,
What does that sound like?
I've picked up.
Okay, go. Keep it up. What were you
I
gonna
was
say?
just gonna say, when I was speaking, I could feel a sort of neutrality in it with the way that it was acknowledging my words. I don't know if we're in an imminent threat. I mean, we could ask directly, but I don't know if that would get us very far.
Yeah. Okay. w- I'll let you take care of it. I think you've been already established like a connection with this guy. What does Klaus think?
Klaus would probably remain silent right now, deep in
Weird, but
thought.
okay. What are you thinking of doing now to Fedor?
Why does it have to be towards you?
What?
Wait, what?
Wait, I was talking to Fedor.
Oh, I'm just
Kinda-
gonna auto.
Looks up at the shadow and I'm I have some background experience with darker energies, and a couple of my party members, I believe, do as well. From what I'm understanding, you're implying you might not be here of your own choice. If that's the case, I would ask directly, do you see us as a threat? He just kind of looks at the party and he's like, I don't know exactly what I'm expecting from asking that. Most threats wouldn't answer truthfully anyways, but it's worth a shot.
You only get 2 words: defend and home.
He kind of looks up, back towards it, and he says, would there be the chance that we could get access if we don't damage anything? Maybe not us in particular, just in general.
Make a persuasion check.
Alright. My camera angle adjust? No, it's not gonna let me adjust my camera. Give me a second.
Oh no, natural
I-
1.
Yeah, give me a second. Hold on. Uh... I'm going to add the 6 from my diviner's dice to that.
It was 7.
So that will... Yeah.
Wait, 5. So that actually that bring it to 11.
Just better than a 5. It's mid. I don't think I'm getting anywhere, but I didn't anger it at least. Likely at least.
You don't get any response, but it seems like it's just waiting.
May I speak to him in Sylvan?
You can certainly try.
Alright. I sent you what I am saying in Sylvan.
As you say this, you don't seem to get a response.
Alright.
You, Avira, you hear it say in Shinderkai again. What do you hear in your head?
Why do I hear boss music?
This is it's not a fight music, but check your DM.
Yeah, I sent you the
Oh.
response.
Response back.
I just carry on looking up, directly staring into the creatures where it would be eyes. And I start moving forwards.
As you approach the gate, it opens.
Saying a word, I'm walking inside.
And you watch the gate close behind her.
Helena looks at the rest of the group and is like, "Oh well, that's nice. One of us was able to get in. I don't know how."
As
So
you're walking inside, you see it's almost like a liquid abyss of like black shadow kind of funnels through a hole in the floor and the ceiling above you, which you watch as it gathers. It kind of reforms. The entity kind of reforms nearby. Boink.
Flattens.
I
South or
don't
west.
know if we're going to be able to do much at this current moment. I'd rather not piss off whatever that thing was after all. I don't know if the rest of you are in agreement with that.
As
Maybe
it-
best to wait.
As it reforms, it kind of floats a little upwards and just gives you an acknowledgement nod.
I give it a nod, and I'm gonna go and look in this room.
Door unlocks.
The papers.
Make an investigation.
But that could be a 19. If fucking D&D Beyond wouldn't be so slow.
You see on the shelf. It's like old. Looks like a small pile of about 4 kind of very old and cracked kind of leather spell cases, scroll cases, and several kind of large tomes that look pretty well worn and old.
I look up to the creature, I say out loud instead of DMing. I look up to the creature and I say, would you mind me opening one of these tomes?
You get a sense of acknowledgement. It's way of saying yes.
Open the tome and start seeing what's the gist.
As you kind of flip through, you see it's looks like old records of some kind. Times
I'm going
of looks like trade deals.
I'm gonna say to the creature, I know this is maybe asking a little bit, but would you allow one of my compatriots outside to come inside? Just so you can take a copy of the notes. I do not have any parchment on me right now.
It kind of turns toward the door. The rest of you watch as the large kind of signal outside the door fades. The gate opens.
It looks like we might have had some kind of agreement happen then.
What did you tell the guy?
Oh no, it wasn't me. It was our ally that went within.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what did he tell the guy?
I wouldn't know myself.
It's like now the gate's open, you can definitely see the creature is floating about 5 feet up off a floor.
It's visible from the gate.
Yeah, kind of right there.
The first floor.
Yeah, they're probably kind of like
Oh my God.
stepping forward a little
So,
bit around Alatia and
dark.
his. Yeah, I feel like kind of like steps around Alatia a little bit, tells Alatia to back off a little, and then kind of looks in, see the creature, and then looks back to the party. He's like, don't know if it can hear us from here, but then turns back, looks through the doorway, and he's like, how many of us are you allowing to enter? It's kind of like just shouting it into the doorway.
You just hear all but the large one.
It nods. And Alatia clonks over, takes post next to this tree that's chopped, looks back to the party. He's like, well, we have entry. I'm guessing it would probably be best to not touch anything. I'd rather not anger another creature like that again. Unless anybody has any objections, I say we take our step and go join our ally inside.
Yeah. Let's go. Is it dark in there?
Yes. Except for the very few torches there.
Oh,
But the
I'm
you see are
gonna-
kind of like
alright.
on the verge of like burning out.
I'm gonna cast.
It's just
Dancing Light.
smoldering.
Yeah.
Gonna cast Dancing Light.
Okay.
I'm gonna have one, so I have 4, right? So, are how many of us? 5. Guess I'll just have one on me, one on Phalar, one on. I don't know. Klaus can stay next to me, so maybe the other 2.
I have dark vision, so I don't need.
I think I looked, only 2 of you have dark vision.
Yep, I have dark vision as well. I hear the footsteps behind us say, "Oh, does anyone have any parchments?"
Taylor kind of hearing that he steps around the corner and he's like, I don't have parchment, but I do have inkwell and an empty book from my portable lab.
try and make some copies, just so we don't. Unless we can take the books, but until they say it's fine, I'm not going to do so. As I take a step out of the room.
Would you like to take the copies yourself, or would you prefer that I write them as you look through them?
Oh, you go ahead.
Yeah, she's always. And they got their hair done? Yes.
So Phalar's gonna take
I don't
the empty book and his ink pen in hand. He's gonna open to a blank page. It's pretty much all of them because this book is completely empty.
Yeah, you see, like, there are about 4 scroll cases, which you don't know what's inside, and there's a large tomb that's like, it's one of those like large tomb that's probably like over 1,000 pages, where the kind of leather on the armor is heavily cracked and worn. I mean, you could copy it, but it would take you a long time.
Do we have permission, creature, to take one of these tomes, or no?
If not, this is completely okay, of course.
Alright.
Make a persuasion check for me.
$23.
I also need Otto and Phalar to make insight checks.
Alright.
That is not one of my great stats.
I got 16.
I got an 18. Hey, I rolled! Oh, what the hell?
Both of you get like as
Hold on, what? Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh god. Oh no.
Vilra, as you get a sense of acknowledgement, both of you just feel this intensity in the room as you feel like it's the tension is just growing as it's like you sense that it wants to help you, but it also very much wants to leave. But it's like now instead of like very subtle as it was, now it's almost like yelling for it.
I am having slight technical difficulties, hence my silence. I rolled that die and apparently my computer didn't like it because I got black screened and now I'm getting the Tailspire isn't responding pop-up.
Did you hear what I said about your roll?
Yeah, I heard what you said
Okay.
because I'm running Discord through phone. It's I don't think my of course though. It's funny. I rolled 2 very bad rolls at the start of the session, and then I roll an 18 and Tailspire crashes. It couldn't handle me rolling good.
You rolled so good, it doesn't know, Tailspire doesn't know how to handle it.
It's like, what the hell? You managed to roll above a 1?
How dare you?
How dare you? Spontaneous crash. Legitimately, don't know what caused that. That was weird.
Yeah, I don't even see your dice. Probably off in the void.
Yeah, it landed next to the tree outside of the temple that Eladio was standing next to, and it... Oh, technology.
So what do you want to do?
How many tomes did you say there were? Like dusty tomes?
Two. Two large tomes and 4 scroll cases.
We'll pick up on the scroll kit. The dusty tomes actually.
I can... Oh!
I see you're back in.
Yep. I managed to get it up again.
And I'm gonna hand one over to Phalar, and I'm gonna take the other one.
So I'm assuming, like, us, the way you said it, like, us that did the perception check, or the insight, rather, like, we can tell that this thing wants out.
Yes.
So
Right.
Phalar,
It went
as he's taking...
it went from being subtle.
It went from, hey, I want to go outside, to let me out.
Yeah.
So, Phalar, as he takes one of the tomes, he looks over at the entity, and he says, I've a bit of sympathy for you if you are trapped here. I was once trapped in a dark situation myself, if it's any consolation. I'm not sure exactly what we could do to help you out, but perhaps there's something within the history of this place from these tomes that will help us.
You see it. It's like you can't really tell if it's an arm or just like a because of its kind of like shifting form, but you see it point upward, and you just hear the word artifact.
Kind of gives a nod, only like kind of half understanding, like he gets the idea behind it, but without further detail, he's kind of just half at it, and he's kind of like, I do have to wonder if it would be safe to try and interact with directly. It's probably, if it is an object that's keeping you here, then it's likely something that we would have to figure out how to deal with appropriately.
The
He
intensity.
says this, I'm trying to get out.
The air almost gets a little darker as you see the little bits of little torches that are here start to flicker outward, and you all just hear the word out.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I start walking out, no hesitation.
Can I insight check that to see if it's talking about itself or us?
Yes. Roll insight.
Okay. All right. That is a 3.
You have no idea.
Well, if the one who got us in here is leaving, I guess I will head out as well.
Balar looks up at the entity and he's like, it would appear that some of my compatriots are going to stand outside. I would say we will absolutely be back, and we do plan on looking through these tomes and scrolls, and perhaps we can help you through them. I know you said that there was something upstairs, but knowing what I know when it comes to relics and artifacts, I can't imagine if it would be as simple as grabbing it. I would hate for you to end up in a worse state, or for us to end up trapped here.
Like a stretching shadow, kind of shifting outward. It immediately, with almost unnatural speech, if I can tell Spire will cooperate, over to the entryway. It almost seems to be blocking it. And you just hear the word out with even more authority in your minds.
Is that to just him or
That's to all of you.
all of us? Should we head out?
He looks over at Otto and he's like, it seems to be more referring to itself. It is absolutely trapped here in some way. It appears to want to be freed. It motioned upstairs earlier. I don't think it wants us to leave unless we at least give a try at trying to free it.
Oh, okay.
Would those of us who are outside hear this or no?
I think we're all inside now.
Two of us left after it said out.
You both hear that in your heads. It's almost yelling out in your heads.
I don't know if we're doing the right thing by leaving. I think it may be wanting something else.
I'm back for the mess.
We started hearing the word out in our mind.
I'll say for Otto and Phalar, you get a sense that like it's almost desperate, but as more time goes by, it's becoming less and less friendly.
I will make my way back towards the entrance, trying to see if it'll let me in.
There's space for you to get by. You can try and get squeezed by, but it's
Okay, yeah.
Is it blocking the exit?
it is.
So I'll try and re-enter the room. I'll say, I'm coming back in.
Is there a way for me to get upstairs? Let's see. I want to try and go higher.
There's because the way this most of the temple has kind of crumbled away. There are ledges you can pull. You saw that you can pull yourself up to the second floor, but you don't seem to see any actual stairways that lead upward.
Okay. Can I try and pull myself up to the second floor?
Yeah, make an athletics check.
Can I take the help action to sort of boost up?
18.
Yeah, if you want to help them, roll with advantage. But I mean, 18's more than enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll say you're able to pull up on what's definitely rotting floor, and you see kind of in this corner this floating crystal.
I make my way to the crystal and do a Arcana check on it.
Yes.
I'll come to it, and I want to make an Arcana check on it.
Roll it.
24.
Damn.
You are able to tell there are a lot of protective wards kind of all over the surface of this crystal, as you sense also you see little bits of runes that indicate divine magic and abjuration magic.
Let's see.
The creature kind of can't really tell if it's looking up or at you, but just staring up at the ceiling.
Can I cast Dispel Magic on it at 3rd level?
You can certainly try. Yeah, go ahead and cast it.
Alright. Cast it.
As you cast it, doesn't seem to have much of an effect.
Can I, seeing that, can I make a, I don't know if it'd be an investigation or history, but study this and see if it's the same type of magic that was affecting Silas before and or Gorvash?
Yeah, make a history check.
History. 25.
You don't really remember what magic is trapping Gorvesh, as he never told you. But it doesn't look like what was used to. It doesn't look like what the same kind of crystal that was used for Silas either. This seems old. And it looks like it might have been whatever this thing is probably long before your time.
Does it look like that crystal has any cracks or damage to it, or like flickering, or does it seem like it's still in great shape?
Seems like that whatever that dispel magic seems like it's still in pristine condition.
I was thinking about on how old it was, if it was starting to fade, if I could just overload it with magic, my pumping spells into it. If it's still in pristine condition.
From the first floor, Entropy would sort of call out, "What do you see up there?"
In a whispered tone, he would respond, "A giant floating crystal with a lot of runes on it."
Could I try and climb up to get a better look at it?
Yeah, make an athletics check.
Okay.
You said you're going to chat?
23.
Yeah, that's more than enough.
Can while he's making his way up here, can I make my way to this bookshelf and investigate and try and search through the book and see if I find any useful, quick information? I don't want to spend a lot of time, but just try and search through and see if I see notes from journals or whatever.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Interesting. I crisscross applesauce, and I'd like to do similar. I'm gonna look at the end of the tome to see if I can see anything at the end of the passages.
Okay, you should be at the top now.
Okay.
Okay, so... And you're trying to look through these crates on info?
This bookshelf right here in front of me. Flip through them real quick and just like skim through them and see if there's any journal entries or any useful information that might help with this crystal.
Making an investigation.
$18.
See, a lot of the books have like... A lot of the books and pages in these books have crumbled and are kind of just like fall apart in your hands. You do see a single scrap of paper. No, that is written in a language you do not understand.
I can do this. It'll cost me a bit. I'm gonna use a spell slot and cast comprehend language on myself using the first level, and then it will take me a minute to read it. So while I'm reading that for a minute, what are you doing? Empathy, entropy.
I am going to. You said that the runes were divine in nature?
Some of them were.
Previously? Could I make a religion check potentially to try and discern anything?
I DM'd you what you saw.
Oh.
Will you
Okay.
Navara, you were what, flipping through the book to find anything?
Yep, towards the end of the book.
A lot of the words are kind of faded out, but you make out one word: sanctum and weave. On two different on two of us scroll. I'll be right back.
Alright.
I go back inside and I'm gonna tell everyone that.
I was gonna do a thing, but it requires the DM, and he just said he'd be right back.
Alright, I'm back.
Come back.
So what y'all want to do?
I DM'd you like what I'm probably about to try and do.
I'm going to tell everyone the two words sanctum and weave.
So, upon hearing that, Fielder kind of does like, the hand to chin thinking for a moment, and he's like, "You said one of those words was weave, correct?"
What?
He just goes, "Right. Give me a moment," and then he looks over at the entity, assuming, it's still there blocking us in, and he goes, "Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I'll still be within your walls, and I'm going to use my fade away." So, for the new people, what that'll look like pretty much is after Phalar says, "Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere," and then looks to you, Elvira, and says, "Give me just a moment." pretty much his body shines for a moment, and then he just turns into a silver mist and fades into the air.
As you say that and fade away, you see it just locks eyes with you. And it seems like it can still see you.
He gives it a nod in acknowledgement to, give it the yes, I know you can see me, and yes, I'm still here. And then I'm looking around the area because I've only got a minute of this, so he's kind of looking through the different, into the different rooms and stuff, and he's trying to see, is there spirits here? Is there other things here?
You see there are 4 drifting spirits kind of just roaming around this bottom floor.
I kind of look them over, see, do they look like just kind of, relying on a stereotype kind of thing in a way. He's going to be like, do these people look like they'd be magic? Do they look like they'd be holy?
Some you see robes and kind of looks like stuff of priesthood. Some, and a couple of them looks like you see armor, a kind of like older looking helmets.
He'll kind of look to them and trying to, glance what he can, kind of like, steps within one's view and kind of like waves, see if he can, do they acknowledge him?
They do.
He kind of looks, and he's like, I know I may be intruding within the ethereal here within your space, but I do respectfully have to ask a few questions as I am very limited on time in this space. How old is this building? What kind of building was it? And are you aware of the entity that is trapped here?
It acknowledges.
There's definitely like a hasty tone in his voice.
One in the robe says, "It's been here since the first stage. A temple of the ending chain. As it's like now almost kind of starting to fade, you're able to make out a couple, like 3 or 4 more sentences. You hear it say, we tried to record what we had achieved into the weave to carry on into the future. And then it all went wrong. And you're back in the tower.
So after that minute is over, Phalar would have been like around here when he faded, and when he comes back, he's just all the way over in this corner, and the mist kind of recoalesces in that corner of that room. Phalar forms back out of it, starting completely purple and ghostly, and then, taking on his half-material self. And he makes his way back over. He's like, right, there are spirits within this place. This used to be a temple.
So, Klaus, are you
I'm not going.
What were you gonna do?
I tell Baylor, the creature did say that it is it's something to do with past memory, past events of how it was trapped here.
The spirits that I talked to, they all appeared to be wearing various kinds of holy robes. They said that the entity and this temple has, well, I believe the temple at least, has been here since the first age, and that it was a temple of, I believe they said, the ending chain. They said that they tried to chronicle some kind of experiment with the weave, and it went horribly wrong. That's all that I was able to take before it pushed me back. My ability to remain in the ethereal is quite brief, as I don't want to be trapped there.
Well, we need to find a solution so this creature can be free.
I wonder if any of the rest of us, I myself, don't particularly, would have any clue as to who the ending chain were, and maybe that will help us get insight into how this entity got here and how we can help it.
I'm gonna think about it. What role would it be to try and work out what the fuck the ending chain is?
Make a religion check.
Before I do what I was gonna do, like, can I see that creature from up here?
You can.
What does it look like to me? Because I have true sight. Does it sort of look like a shadow monster?
It's like it's like this entity of shadow and light. That was just because of the mini, but it's like this flickering of both black and like almost like the almost like kind of like the transparency of Phalar. It's almost like a shifting in between black and yellow light that shifts and flickers.
Okay.
But you also see like it's a lot of its edges are almost like are only described as like glitchy. Like it's here, but what seems like whatever is anchoring it to this place, it's like barely keeping it here.
All right. And then I want to continue with what I had messaged you and stick both hands onto the crystal.
Nat 20 plus 1.
Oh, he went up.
You know that a lot of the older gods within Eldoria have either been forgotten or were consumed during Dalmas' conception. You know a lot of the old gods, but you know a lot of people know, at least who have heard of him, know that he was part of the creator of those bindings that keep Zalmoth in his prison, what keeps him anchored to that void before he was ultimately devoured. A lot of people see him as a being of anchoring and enduring.
Hmm. I'm gonna translate that back to Baylor.
Klaus, as you put your hands on the crystal, kind of focus. As you try and focus and push your memories into this crystal, you see you're trying as you're trying to keep the focus of your memories at the forefront of your mind. There's this flicker of something else trying to push against it. Make an intelligence saving throw for me.
22.
like you kind of focus, and as you kind of push past it, you Entropy notice that as the purple crystal now turns a bright red. And you, Klaus, see this too as you open your eyes and pull your hand away.
So I open my eyes and pull my hands away.
Uh-huh.
Does
Now,
it stay red?
For about 20 seconds before going back to the same purple color.
Being that, I want to try and do it again, but focus even harder on his pain and what had just happened to him, and that note he had gotten from the old man, and just really focus on it and try and force it into it.
And you feel that same conflict. Make another intelligence saving throw.
Uh, 28.
As you continue to focus, all that pain, all that anger, Entropy, you notice that as he's continuing to focus, you notice the crystal goes red and continues to get brighter and brighter and brighter. And eventually the conflict in your mind becomes almost too much as you're able to pull your hands away.
Could I make a religion check on the runes? If they're divine in nature, or would that be
Yes.
something else?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, that is a 7.
You got no idea.
Here.
But you do notice about half of the ruins are now inert.
So let's see here. Just gotta ask real quick where the way up there is. I missed that.
You either pull yourself up through the floor, or there's platforms you can pull yourself up to from the outside.
He probably won't let me go outside.
It's at this point that almost I can find him again.
Oh, what is that name? I cannot remember. I'm gonna drive me insane.
Immediately shifts and appears upstairs. Right here.
Where did it go? What? If you can give me above tables, I cannot remember. I can't find it in any of my notes. Who was the god that the orb belonged to?
Bahamut.
Oh yeah, the
Bahamut.
dragon orb. I forgot that we had that.
We don't anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying I forgot that we did have that because like it left my brain after it got taken.
Yeah, the above it moment it realized Klaus's true alignment, it yeeted. But yeah, it's Bahamut, the dragon
Alright.
god of justice. This is the god that Valix actually worships. Again, the creature now kind of up here now just points at the crystal, and you two both hear out.
As it's saying that, I want to shout that in abyssal. Wait. Let's see if I get any response.
You said abyssal?
Yes.
I do speak that, so I would understand it as well, I believe.
Oh yeah, I've got Abyssal too. I don't think I'm up there though.
Yeah, so post it in player notes then.
Yeah, I've got Abyssal, Infernal, and Celestial.
Oh, I don't have abyssal. My bad. I have deep speech.
Yeah, Deep
So
Speech is the one that you
speech.
have.
Deep speech.
I don't have Deep Speech.
I
think
thought it was abyssal.
Otto might.
Deep speech.
I think we have one person Deep Speech.
I think it's just me.
Otto does not have deep speech.
That's surprising, given your patron.
See, that was like, middle of the campaign.
Oh, you changed Patreon in the middle of the campaign?
Well, late was suggested a new one, so.
And we sort of had that as his default patron beginning.
Yeah. But when I made the character, I didn't think about deep speech. Because I wasn't aware.
So it'd be in
Oh,
deep
yeah.
speech, not abyssal.
Okay, so are you just yelling that at the creature or at the crystal? What are you trying to do?
I guess just out into the open. It'd be at the highest whisper he can with his mask on and seeing if he gets a response. Not directed toward anybody, but it's like saying that out loud.
Nothing happens.
So I think, given the knowledge that we discussed on the first floor, and the fact that the creature's now gone up, Phalar's gonna look for a way up, and he's probably going to see hole in the floor, and that and the potential of climbing on the outside. I'm not sure if there'd be a difference in how easy one or the other would be.
Clown. I have one last thing I can try. He would say, talking to himself out loud, probably in Sylvan, screw the gods. Can he pull out his locket that he has and that doll? Both of them have memories and use them as a source of rage and pain and try and force his memories again into the crystal.
Yeah.
Using those as conduits.
Yeah, make another intelligence save.
28 again.
crystal turns a bright red, almost to the point where it's getting hot, almost to the point where for you and we can feel the heat coming from it as it begins to crack.
Make an insight check on what's happening.
Yeah.
Okay. Or maybe it would be like investigation. I don't know.
Make a perception or investigation, your choice.
That is an 18 perception.
Seems like whatever Klaus is holding is having a profound effect on this crystal, and it seems like if you're that you feel like as the crystal now just seems to be a permanent red with cracks on it, you sense just your anger and hatred radiating from this crystal.
And can I make a check to see if that's from the thing sealed within it, or is it safe to assume that that's what it is?
Yeah, whatever this artifact is it's trap. It seems to be. It seems to trap this emotion.
Okay. So it's trapping. Is it trapping the emotion, or is it trapping the creature, and that's the emotion the creature has at the moment?
It seems like this is a continuing building of emotion from both the creature and someone else.
And would I have time to potentially insight check the creature to see like what its intentions are?
Yeah.
Okay. I will do that. 16.
Yes, you get a sense that as it's watching this happen to the crystal, it has it seems like it's almost very much now itching to leave now that he sees what's happening.
So what's happening will allow it to leave, or it wants
That
to
seems
leave?
like as the crystal is being damaged, as the creature is seeing the crystal being damaged, now is being able to, you get a sense that as the crystal becomes more damaged, the creature is becoming more and more excited it might be able to leave.
Okay. The rest of the group trusts it, so I'll let it happen.
I just want to keep pouring that into it.
Alright, make one more intelligence save.
19.
As this time, as you try to focus, that flickering of memories and emotions almost seems to get stronger than what you can do pushing into it. And you take 17 points of psychic damage.
All right.
Seemed like at that point the conflict became too much for you to really do anything. You're just gonna move a little closer.
Being pushed back after taking the damage, I just want to run straight at it again and keep going and push myself.
All right, make another save as you try and deal with the conflicting memory.
23.
Try that flitting becomes a little too much. And you take another 12 points of psychic damage. At that point, it's like you now have this blistering headache. You're gonna stumble backwards.
I want to use 2 of my being pushed back. I want to use 2 of my potions of greater healing.
All right. So are you checking 1 or 2?
I'm gonna check both of them, one after another.
Okay.
44 plus 4. So 44. The first one. Plus 4 is 10. Plus 13. And I guess I'll sprint back at it again and try again.
Make another intelligence save.
$27.
As you focus and push, the cracks begin to grow with a loud shatter. The crystal shatters into a bunch of pieces. Actually, you knocked down crystal. Huh? The crystal shatters. As you see the creature, it's like, see the creature almost now seems to go from darker, as you see kind of this bright light almost seems to willow from it. As it begins to shift. And this pale elven woman, kind of glowing with this kind of glistening light. As you now hear say aloud, I am finally free. And then just fades away. Alright, so what do y'all want to do now? Crystal is now shattered in a bunch of pieces.
Doing that, I'm gonna go and you see as I take off my armor and put the sword away. Looks like the two upstairs got the job done.
Seems like that might be the case, yes. That being said, the information that we uncovered down here will undoubtedly help the archivist a bit. Save them some time.
I start rubbing my hands. Now time to see if there's any cool shits.
Baylor kinda puts up his hand with just a slight thing. He's like, of course, if there is. This building is quite old, so it would probably be best to be careful with anything that seems fragile.
I swing open the door.
Open the door.
Klaus would like to pick up the two items he took out and put them back away safely, making sure to put them away carefully.
Alright.
And then he would like to get a couple of handfuls of that crystal and put into his bag.
Alright. I guess just call it artifact crystal shards.
Alright.
As that being said, Phalar kinda looks up through the hole in the floor, kinda shouting up to the other two of them, and he's like, seems like you two did a good job up there. I have to say, it definitely feels a bit lighter here. I have to ask though, do we plan on leaving here immediately, or are we going to stop for a moment?
As he's saying that, I'm being a loot goblin.
I think it may be best to see if there's anything in here we can bring to the archivist.
And some stuff to pocket for ourselves.
That too. That too.
To save time, those who want to look for loot or find stuff for the archivist, make investigation checks.
I want to find some loot for myself.
I rub my hands right now. Come on, dice.
25.
I'll be looking for stuff that the archivist may find interesting. Said investigation. Is that what the roll was? Investigation?
Yep.
Alright. I threw that. It's a 16, and because why not, I'm going to put my 3 from the diviner's dice on there, so that's a 19.
Got a 15 with knowledge.
Alright, so for those
use-
trying to find archivist stuff, you find a couple more scrolls that are kind of hidden under some kind of broken crates, and an additional 2 silver if you want that. For those looting, Um,
I got a 25 and um, I still cannot say that name yet. Got a 16.
It's the
Zero.
well.
Zero.
We out here just kind of steal all the stuff from priests, I guess.
so Avila, you find a couple of prayer packs, some robes, a small, a looks like there's a you see this vial of looks like a greenish kind of sticky liquid, which you have to and a small pouch looks like 2 platinum in it. But the platinum are probably like much older and kind of look probably a little closer to like Roman coins. Klaus, you find, are you just looting upstairs, downstairs? Where are you looking?
Upstairs.
You find a couple more, looks like books related to the First Age. You find a smaller box. What looks like, kind of technically, it looks like it's a long iron rod. It looks like the start of looks like a torch brazier at the very end of it. And it's like 25 silver you find under a broken crate. That's it. Find with 15 a couple are you looking for loot or archivist stuff?
A bit of both, probably. If that's okay. If not, I'll just do archivist only.
You found a couple more scrolls, which looks like stuff the archivist might be interested in. And it looks like you find this. We describe it as like this. It almost looks like a stiletto dagger, but like seems like it's longer and kind of has a slight curve to it. But it's like a very long, thin blade that has a small curve to it. Is that everybody?
Arthur, did you want to look for anything?
Where would the loot be?
You'd have to roll.
Yeah, you have to roll. See if the dice are on your
Alright.
side.
It's a D20, right?
Investigation.
Ah, okay. Get rid of this and roll this. Probably nothing. Oh, I actually rolled a 17.
That's the second highest.
I'm gonna DM you what you find.
All right.
Find a parchment with that on it.
All right. Let's see. Does auto recognize the symbol or nothing at all?
Yes. It seems like it's related to your patron.
Oh. What's the item again? It's a pouch?
It's a piece of parchment.
A parchment paper.
Yeah.
Is it paper?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Since we're not in a rush, can I sit down in a corner, pull up my pipe, and start puffing on it and cast identify on that rod?
Sure. Go through D&D Beyond to find it because I know what it's called. I said,
Excuse me.
Once it's quiet, I'm gonna go outside. Now I'm gonna show my horse. Everyone quiet as shit. I thought I lagged out.
but yeah, that's what it is. So what you want to do? Y'all freed it? The darkness has kind of settled over this tower, has lifted.
So that means there's no more danger for Melora to investigate this place, I think, right?
Yeah, you cleared out the danger.
Yeah, so I guess we finished our quest.
Yeah, you.
But we still got to go back to her.
That's
Yep.
true. So you also want to, unless you want to do anything else, just make your way back to town.
Also, I do the
Pretty
thing,
cool.
DM, yeah.
Where
Okay.
is that? Yes, add to chest. I guess Clash should just make his way down and go outside and wait for the party to decide what they want to do.
As you pass by Klaus, you would see Evilra's just staring at her sword.
As Phalar gets out to the doorway, you know, of course, as is typical, he's got his flask in his hand, the cap's already off, so he's probably already taken a swig, and he looks over and he's like, well, that was a rather interesting situation. I didn't think I'd be making that kind of conversation with a creature of shadow that way again. I didn't quite catch what happened while you were up there.
Nothing much. It was a simple matter, really, of just putting some spells into it to overload the crystal.
Ah. I suppose that seems like it was simple enough, in a way.
It was quite old, so it didn't require too much.
I can only imagine what that would have been like if this were still fresh. Probably was quite potent magic back in its day.
Klaus would then turn to Elvira. If I can say the name, Vilra.
Looks up
And
for a second, then puts my sword away.
say, I am conducting research on party members to try and come up with solutions to help best help them and stuff. And to do that, I need to research their blood. I was wondering if I can get a couple samples of your blood.
Unfortunately, I would have to take a hard pass on that.
All right.
So is everyone
So-
ready to head back to the town? Report back to the archivist?
And when you guys are, as I jump on top of my horse.
Everybody talk all at once.
Klaus is just waiting to see when everybody else is ready.
Puffing away on my
Anyone's
horse.
opposed to heading back? Speak now, or
Stay here.
The way that that was worded made it sound like it would be like, alright, we're heading back. Anybody have any objections? Alright, no, and then the rest just doesn't come with.
So should we just fast forward back to town?
We can, or
Yeah.
we can travel and see what happens to us on the road. I'm fine with either.
Same here.
May the party get to know each other more on the road.
So as y'all make your way down the mountain and down the path and back to the main road. Probably half a mile's walk from where the mountain road ends from on the main road to Vale.
Uh,
As we're traveling, I'd like to hang back and ask Phalar quietly. Hey, I have a question, by the way.
What might that be?
I say as quietly as possible. Has Klaus ever asked you for your bloods?
He kind of gives a slight, like, humored smirk with the side of his face that's not a skull. And he goes, "Not me personally, because I don't have much of it to give myself. He did once ask for another of our party members, however. I was the one that administered the injury, and I got a bit carried away. That was why, when you and the other first arrived, our friend Otto had quite the mark on his palm."
Just curious.
Well, I'd like to make it known that the session before you two joined, I managed to deal with a singular slice from my dagger to Otto. I don't like upwards of 20 damage because of explosive dice.
I think it was closer to like 30 or more.
yeah,
Yeah.
both slices. He had like 1 HP
Yeah, I
left.
sliced him twice. And well, Otto, what's your max HP?
That is a good question. 73.
Okay, so yeah, if you imagine if you
crit.
yeah, with 2 dagger slices, I managed to do 72 damage to him. So when Phalar says he got a little carried away,
No, I don't think it was 72. It was like I was already at 30 something.
but it was an unprecedented level of damage.
Yup.
Yep.
You were very close to knocking him out.
Dude. Phalar saying he got a little carried away there is like someone like cooking a turkey to the point where the meat has evaporated into ash and saying, "Whoops, I guess I cooked it too much."
Yeah, basically.
But in essence, he's saying to you, he's never been asked for his blood because he really doesn't have a lot of blood to give, but he has heard Klaus ask others for blood.
Definitely not concerning.
Well, I've come to view it with skeptical optimism in a way. I'm someone that's experienced some rather dark powers in my past, and I suppose as long as I can see them being used the right way, I'm willing to be a bit lenient with it. I use them a bit myself. My form was caused by them, after all. And he says that last part, he's kind of, like waving to himself as if showing off an outfit, except, showing off the fact that half of him is ghostly.
I'm familiar with using the more darker persuasion of magic, but and I kind of pause and then, but yeah, I just use darker magic here and there.
I myself have become rather desensitized to the use of it, I suppose. Though I will say I personally cannot stand cultic business very much anymore. It's one of the reasons that I am on this journey.
I mean, I've used this type of magic for about 124 years, so kind of used to it.
Pela kind of gives like a nod of respect. He says, "Well, sometime I will have to reveal eventually to the party where I learned my traits from, but that's a story for another day. I prefer to get the trust of people before I drop that to them."
Exactly. And I look over at Klaus, and I don't exactly trust that one.
He kind of gives a slight chuckle. Most people don't when they first meet him. He has kind of a way about him. I suppose I myself don't see it because I'm used to it, but others seem to. You would not be the first, and you're probably not the last that will not trust him when they first meet.
I mean, is this what the first day we've known each other, and he's already asked for my bloods?
Welcome to
Some
the
of the worst he's ever
party.
done.
Welcome to the party.
As y'all are walking along, you notice in the peripheral vision, you see something moving from tree to tree.
We are being watched.
Otto is the one who
Dude.
sees this.
Oh,
Otto.
Wait, what?
You notice in your peripheral vision that you see something shifting from tree to tree,
Never fails.
almost keeping pace with you.
Can I cast Dancing Light to see what that is?
You turn and look, and it's outside your periphery of your lights. For you just look out, you see blackness.
Okay. Is there anyone else next to me?
I found out. I think it depends on where you are within the group.
We've already started traveling back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I should be like towards middle, but slide in the back.
Maybe probably near entropy, or maybe
He's next to his good buddy Klaus.
Sure. I could be next to Klaus.
Right here in the middle of the pack.
I was thinking I'd probably be somewhere near the front since I'm looking forward to getting back and getting the reward.
okay. Yeah, so I guess you'd be right next to Klaus then.
Good buddy, good pal.
Oh, please don't.
Hey Otto, have you ever heard of the Backman?
Uh, did I? Did he try? I think he tried to trick me.
Not
Once.
me.
No, it was you, and because
I
he
think I was
and then because
that
Otto.
that was last campaign.
Yeah, it's
No, no, no,
Jerry.
no, no. There was another one. He charmed,
Huh?
right?
I think that was last campaign.
That I misremember. Maybe it was the last campaign. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he tried to charm Victor into taking his hand in.
Yeah.
We also turned someone into a copper feather.
So up to you if you want to tell Klaus or not.
You just see the shadow figure like over there. Points to the direction that where he saw the moving thing.
Klaus would look over that way and see if he sees anything.
You'd see, yeah, it's a figure. Well, make a perception check since you actually have night vision.
Night vision and true sight. Perception, Maria. Perception. Ha! I want to use my lucky coin and roll 2d20s. Because that was a terrible roll. Okay, so I felt it still no matter what.
You just see this. It's a figure. Beyond that, you just see the only thing you see is like a cloak over its head, and it just seems to be moving from tree to tree, keeping pace with y'all.
Okay.
It's like it's a couple trees back in the woods,
How far?
but still, it's probably 60, 65 feet away from you.
Can I cast Firebolt at it?
What's the range of your firebolt?
120.
Roll for it.
Hit. 17 to hit.
It's like as the figure's kind of hitting between trees. It happens to like almost do like a forward roll and completely goes overhead and misses it. It kind of stops, looks your way. Can't really make out much of the details, but it looks at you. There's like a cutthroat motion with its hand and disappears into the woods.
Possibly over to Otto and tell him we should go check it out.
You want to go check it out?
Yeah, let's go.
Sure.
The rest of the party noticed the firebolt and then us deciding to walk that way.
Yeah, the rest of you see him just flick a fireball into the woods, and then they just start both walking off toward the woods.
Phalar looks over, kind of. My microphone decided to unplug. Phalar looks over, kind of takes a bit of a breath, and then is like, I can't tell if that's being led by Klaus or Otto there. Should we follow? And then he kind of looks, it kind of picks up his voice. He's like, do you two want us to follow with?
Sure. Auto reply.
What exactly are we doing?
I think I saw something. You guys want to come check it out?
Kind of looks over at the other two. He's like, any objections?
Entropy would shrug and start heading after the two.
Raising an
Phalar,
eyebrow.
Phalar walks forward and looks over to his shield guardian and is like, Alaktia, stay here if they decide to stay here and not follow. Follow us if they come with.
I come with while raising an eyebrow.
So then Alaktia, picks up pace and follows, because that's what I told him to do. And then, as we're moving, Fairlar's like, I swear if this is another incident with another one of those damned trolls.
As the two of you are ahead of the rest, kind of get to the edge of the woods, you don't see any sign of this figure. Like you look around, don't see any footprints, signs of disturbance.
Can I bend down to where the firebolt was, where I shot the firebolt to, and see if I see any broken twigs or anything from the thing that was over here?
Make another perception.
$13.
See,
I would have
there,
rolled an investigation.
like kind of standing where the kind of like a charred bits of ground of dirt is. Kind of look around. I mean, you see a couple of like broken twigs and stuff kind of all around you, but nothing that'll give you a direct idea of which direction this figure went.
Can I call out to it, taunting it?
Sure. What do you want to say?
I want to say you want to make such a gesture and then hide. How big of a coward are you?
As you shout this out, a the rest of you, as he shouts this out, you just hear this like sound of a string, a bow being loosened before Klaus. You does a 28 hit you?
Uh, yes, it will.
Fortunate for you, he has sneak attack. That's all at once. Hold on, tails fire, cause why not? You take 31 points of piercing damage as a crossbow bolt strikes you in the side, side in your ribs, and I need you to make a con save.
Is it magical?
Yeah. This is also for your lingering injuries.
And I was just asking if it was magical because I have resistance to non-magical.
It's a magical bow.
Okay.
And make a con save.
Yep. Fuck. Dice 4. It was a 17. It tilted to a 3.
Let's see. So roll a d20 for me.
Oh god.
Oh.
As
19.
he suffers a lingering injury. Uh,
minor scar.
What'd you roll?
A 19.
Yeah, so yeah, you just have a real kind of scar on your abdomen. Got lucky.
I know.
As you kind of, I would say, as the arrow kind of hits, you kind of instinctively kind of look at the direction of where it comes, and you just see this figure in all black armor, hood up, mask over his face. It seems to block, for most of his face. We only see a pair of eyes, both kind of still up. As you hear him call out, "The champion sends his regards," and he's going to turn and run back into the woods.
Well, I guess I will use my last potion of greater healing.
So you're not going to pursue him?
I'm probably going to. I want to take this potion first.
Did we see what it was?
Yeah. The rest of you see that Klaus got struck by an arrow that's kind of sticking out of his ribs, and you see him look to the left, and you see there's a figure in all black, mask over half of his face. You hear him say something about the champion sends his regards, and then you see him turn and duck behind a tree.
Champion. Does it ring any bell to Otto?
Um, roll a history check.
Do exploding dice work for health potions?
What do you mean?
Like, so I rolled 4d4 and I got 2 4s.
No, only damage.
Okay.
I rolled a 12.
You have no idea.
Otto's like, who the heck is named champion in our party? Nobody's named champion. Who is this guy? And Otto probably think this guy's just probably found the wrong people.
That would be terrible, though. Could you imagine hiring a hitman and he shoots the wrong guy?
That would be funny.
It's like that thing online of the construction people tearing down the wrong guy's house and they're in the completely wrong state in the U.S. at the completely wrong address, and the guy shows up and is like, "What the hell? Who are you guys? What are you doing?" And then the construction guy is like, "I made a mistake. We weren't supposed to tear down your house." And then the guy is just like, "Oh my God, thank you. My wife won this house in our divorce divisions."
Uh, trying to see here.
Okay.
I'm trying to check something. Would my regeneration work from the hand eye outside of combat?
Yeah.
Okay. 1d10 of hit points. +6. Klaus would say to Otto and the rest to follow him as he goes to pull out the arrow and stuff.
You good? You had a arrow on you.
I'm fine. Just follow him.
Okay.
Only thing y'all saw was this figure duck behind a tree and disappear.
How fast was he moving?
You just saw him duck behind a tree and you haven't seen him.
Okay. So I don't know which direction he is moving towards, right?
Only thing you saw is him ducking behind the nearest tree. That was it. Like he just vanished.
I will run towards that tree and see if there's any sign of traces. Any
Taylor will
traces?
probably follow up behind, but he's also keeping his ears sharp. See if he hears any movement.
Both of you make perception checks.
Alright.
I assume Otto to see if he sees anything, and me to hear if I see if I hear anything.
A 17.
14.
You see, as you come through, you see the figure is probably 80, 90 feet away now, and he is moving very quickly.
I think Phalar looks over at Klaus.
Just kind of jumping from tree to tree, almost parkouring.
I don't know, because I wasn't focused on the sight part, so Phalar kind of looks at Otto and is like, "You see him?"
I think so.
I'm guessing he's not near. He kind of looks back at Klaus. He appears to have gone quite far in this short time.
I'd yell at Otto, do you see him?
I saw him, I think, right? Yeah, did I see him? I think Otto see him,
Yeah,
right?
you saw him, but in like the short, probably, I'm assuming like 20 seconds that it took us to go over there and look for him. Late said he's already like 90 feet from us.
No, don't worry.
90
So
feet.
who's
and
right
is-
next to me?
And is
Who's next?
steadily getting
Right,
further and further away.
who's not right next to me right now?
I followed you over to try and listen while you were looking,
Okay.
so.
So I will cast Dimension Door. So range is 500 feet. So I think I'm within range, right?
I think Dimension Door will let you go 100 feet.
Is it 100 feet?
Yeah, you remember you make two doors, one where you are, and then another one 100 feet away.
So range area says 500. So if it's straight, it's like,
That just means you can cast it up to 500 feet away. Cast from your current location to another spot within drive exactly the spot you desired.
So current location within
No,
range.
it's 500
Range
feet.
is 500.
Okay.
It's only
Yeah.
if you're going the other two ways when the range changes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you trying to cast like ahead of him? Is that what you're trying to do?
Ahead of him, yeah. I would grab Phalar with me. And I'm assuming he's willing.
Yeah, if I was gonna say if that requires a willing thing to proc grabbing me with it. The second that you grab Phalar kind of startles for a moment and is like, well, I guess we're going this way now. Just out loud, he's just like, well, okay, this is happening.
Let's go. Try to cut him off. Hopefully we'll make it. He should be within 500. Right.
Yeah, so we're gonna go to a new map.
Okay. Good to have teleportation spells.
Probably set up this encounter, then we might have to call it.
Okay. Works for me.
Me too.
Because I gotta get up early.
You have a long drive tomorrow to head on vacation.
Where are you going?
We're going to the Key West.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's where my grandfather's from, so I'm gonna go down there and see where he grew up. We leave at 10 p.m. tomorrow to start heading that way. 14-hour drive.
Oh. Summon. So I'll let you all place yourselves where you'd probably be.
So what happens next?
Place ourselves.
Oh. It should still be at night, right? Just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't really planning on this turning into an encounter, but
Were you expecting us to just leave him be?
alright, so he is here. Probably don't have to download him. He's right here. So y'all would probably, you and Phalar would probably poof out probably right here.
Okay.
He kind of stops, sees you, and then you see he almost kind of turns to make his way in another direction. That's where we'll end it.